So the ANC continues to celebrate their 113th year, and this time around they were in Alexandra, and the ANC was doing what the ANC does the most, which is to gaslight the people, never talk about the damage that they have done or even acknowledge the so-called mistakes that they have done. Because apparently, according to the ANC, all of this mess that they have been doing, it is just mistakes. This is what the ANC ministers are saying. Whenever they go on national television, they say that these are mistakes. The fact that people are living with destroyed infrastructure, the fact that people are living with crime, the fact that there are illegal immigrants all over this country is just mistakes, according to the ANC. So if you were to listen to people like Panyaza Lesufi or that lying president of theirs called Cyril Ramaphosa, you would actually believe that the ANC is doing an amazing job in this country. If you were someone who comes from the outside and listening to these comrades of the ANC, you would actually believe that the ANC is doing such a wonderful job. Is because the ANC have actually mastered one thing, is to gaslight the people about the issues that they believe are near and dear to people's hearts. But if there is one conversation that the ANC is avoiding, they are avoiding to talk about the state of the country. This is one conversation that the ANC does not want to speak about. Cyril Ramaphosa, he never stood on stage to actually talk about the state of the nation. You know, as much as he will go on stage to say that I'm going to address the state of the nation, he never speaks about the state of the nation. Someone like Panyaza Lesufi never speaks about the state of Gauteng, because he knows that if he were to speak about the state of Gauteng, people would actually look at him and say that, man, you are incompetent. Why are you the premier of Gauteng? Because you look at Gauteng, the fact that you have all of these illegal foreigners that have actually overtaken the CBD of Gauteng. They have hundreds and hundreds of buildings that have been overtaken by the foreigners in Gauteng. You look at Gauteng, you look at CBD. If you are someone who used to go to Gauteng, I used to study in Gauteng, but today if you were to go to Gauteng, you would not believe that this is the CBD that we could pride ourselves in a couple of years ago. But under Panyaza Lesufi, under his administration, everything is a mess in Gauteng. The people in Gauteng, they are suffering with the power cuts. The people in Gauteng, they don't have water. The people in Gauteng, some people were dying. You remember what happened there in Pretoria, where people died because some of the ANC members have decided to take the money that were supposed to build the water treatment system, and people died in Pretoria. But these are some of the things that you will never hear these people talk about or even acknowledge. But when it comes to gaslighting South Africans and actually trying to make South Africans believe that they are doing an amazing job, these people are number ones. They are number ones. And it is so sad that today, as we speak on the 2nd of or the 3rd of February, today in 2025, there are people who still believe in the likes of Panyaza Lesufi. You go on social media and there are people that are saying, yes, Panyaza Lesufi deserves to be the president of this country. And you are sitting back and you cannot even believe that this man who failed to take care of Gauteng, now people want him to take care of the rest of this country. Unfortunately, these are the kind of voters that we are dealing with in this country. These are kind of voters that we are dealing with in this country. So I just want you to listen to what Panyaza Lesufi was actually saying there in Alexandra. And this actually proves my point that these people, they will never talk about the state of the country. But when it comes to actually gaslighting the people, these people are number ones.
We want to send this message to our leadership of the ANC that is here. We want to send this message to the leadership of the ANC in our NEC. Comrade TG, there must be no member of society that is sick that can't go to hospital because they don't have a medical aid. There must be no person that is rejected in a private hospital because they don't have a medical aid.
You hear, this is what I'm saying when I'm saying that these people are good with gaslighting the people. Because if we actually had a rational voter base, the first question that people would actually be asking is, why do you want people to go to private hospitals? We have so many public hospitals. Why are you so obsessed with people going to the private hospitals? Why? Because this is one thing that we must never let go of. The fact that these people have actually messed up our public healthcare system. They've messed up our public health facilities. They have messed up the hospitals, they messed up the clinics, and now they are trying to say, no, you people must ignore all of these hospitals and the clinics that we have destroyed, and we want you to go to the private hospitals. Why do you want the people to go to the private hospitals when you have so many public hospitals? The fact of the matter is that these people have actually destroyed the public hospitals. They know that the people, the citizens on the ground, they don't have trust in the public hospitals, and they know that if we go to these people and say that we want to implement some policy that is going to allow you to ignore the mess that we have done in the public hospitals and go to the private hospitals, they know how our voter base is. They know that they are going to get the applauses, and people are going to say, oh, I cannot wait to get sick so that I can go to Mediclinic. They know that they are going to get the applauses. But if you are a rational person, you should say that the ANC, you have been in charge of this country for the past 30 years. Why is our public health care like this? This is one question that the ANC should actually be put on the corner and actually be forced to answer. Why is our public health care like this? Why is our public health care facilities the way they are? Why don't the people want to go to the hospital? The people are literally choosing to die in their homes instead of going to the hospital. The people feel like, if I go to the hospital, this is a death sentence. I'm just signing my death sentence. This is how people are feeling about the public hospitals. But no, the likes of Panyaza and Lesufi, they will never acknowledge that this mess that you see in the public hospitals, this mess was caused by the ANC. This is one thing that the likes of Panyaza and Lesufi, they will never admit. They will never admit. And you still have the people that are giving these people applauses instead of holding their feet to the fire and saying, why is our public healthcare facilities like this? And who is going to take responsibility for the way that our public healthcare facilities are like? Because if right now you are going to implement a policy that is going to take the people from the public healthcare facilities and push them straight into the private healthcare, you are going to cause the same mess that you caused in the public healthcare facilities. They are not saying that. The South African voters, man, the South African voters, I don't know what the South African voters are actually waiting for. This is one thing that I cannot understand. I don't know what the South African voters are actually waiting for them to actually realize that these people are a bunch of incompetent fools that should not be anywhere near power. I don't know what are we actually waiting for. I don't know what do the people actually waiting to happen before they say that, guys, we have been voting wrong all our lives. We have been voting wrong for all our lives. We have been ignoring the people that actually came to us with the solutions. Many political parties, many leaders have actually said that, guys, don't vote for the ANC because these are the things that the ANC have done to you. And these are the things that we want to do for you. No, this is not, South Africans do not want to listen to that. As soon as the ANC starts speaking about Chris Hani, as soon as the ANC starts speaking about Sobukwe, as soon as the ANC starts speaking about all of their liberation heroes, the people forget everything that the ANC has actually done and continue to vote for the same people that have destroyed their lives. These are the kind of voters that you are dealing with in this country today. So even if you are someone who is sitting there and actually contemplating about opening a political party because you see how bad things are in this country, you must just acknowledge that South Africans don't want to hear the truth. South Africans are easily gaslit and South Africans are easily manipulated. So if you are someone who is sitting there and actually thinking about opening a political party, the first thing that you are thinking about is telling South Africans the truth and telling South Africans how bad the ANC has actually governed this country. But unfortunately, they are not going to listen to you. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you say. The ANC have done everything in their power to actually convince the people of this country that they don't want to govern this country anymore. The ANC have done that. They have given you incompetent mayors. They have given you incompetent councillors. They have given you incompetent premiers. They have given you incompetent president. They have given you corrupt officials that are stealing everything that they can get their hands on. Instead of South Africans saying that, no, we cannot be governed by people like this, no, South Africans continue to to vote for these people. So even if you want to open a political party, please do not waste your money. Please do not waste your money. At least invest in this podcast. Invest in this podcast. It is sad, man. It is sad how things are in this country. It is sad. And you would think that the people who experienced apartheid would not want anything to do with a government that is going to oppress them. Because this is what the ANC is doing. This is apartheid 2.0. This is apartheid 2.0. Black people are oppressed by their own today. They are oppressed by their own today. They are. We are just going to sit here and allow the likes of Panyaza Lesufi to gaslight us about the NHI when the same comrades have actually stolen the money that was supposed maybe to fix the public healthcare facilities, when the same political party have actually destroyed the public healthcare. But at the same time, we are going to allow these people to stand on platforms, to be given the media attention, to actually spew lies and actually tell the people that you no longer have to participate in this mess that we have destroyed. You have the private sector now to destroy. Let's go and destroy the private sector. This is basically what the ANC is saying. This is what they are saying. And for some reason, they are getting the applauses. They are getting the applauses. It is sad, man, to live in it. Like, it is sad. It is sad. Like, it is beyond sad at this moment. It is beyond sad. The fact that majority of the voters, they still love these cadres. They still love these cadres. It boggles my mind.
We are urging Minister Mutwaledi. We are also urging President Ramaphosa. Let's implement the NHI now. We are ready as Gauteng to budget for NHI. We are ready to open our clinics and hospitals so that our people can get medical assistance in our hospitals.
You remember last week, or not last week, I think it was 2 weeks ago, when the Minister of Health went to do an interview on Newsroom Live. And the guy said that no, there is no money to hire the doctors and the nurses. There's no money to hire these people. I mean, like, who would believe? Who would have thought that people can actually study medicine and sit at home and be unemployed? People can study medicine and sit at home and be unemployed. All of this is under the ANC. It is under the ANC. You look at our public healthcare facilities today, they are short-staffed. It is because of the ANC. They are short-staffed. It is because of the ANC, because there is no money to hire the doctors. There is money for the blue lights. There is money for the bloated cabinet. There is money for bloated parliament. There is money for everything, but there is not money in this country to actually hire the doctors. That's why I'm saying that at this point, I no longer blame the ANC, unfortunately. I no longer blame the ANC, but I'm just blaming the voters. I'm just blaming the voters. South Africans have the worst type of voters in the world. We have the worst type of voters. The people that are literally voting against their own benefit. This is the type of voters that we have in this country. And they vote for the ANC. And 2 weeks after voting for the ANC, they are in the streets crying about the services that the ANC is not giving to them. They are crying about the services that the ANC is not giving to them. These are the type of voters we have. It is crazy, man.
We must not listen to a zeal that NHI must not be implemented. We must not listen to a DA that the NHI must not be implemented. We are also extending this message, Comrade TG. Abantwana bethu, nabantwana babelungu.
Our children and white people's children,
fanele bafunde eclassroomini eyi-1.
they must study in one classroom.
Abanye bayofunda isiZulu.
Others will learn isiZulu.
Abanye bafunde i-Afrikaans.
And others will learn Afrikaans.
But bafunde esikolweni esi-1.
But they must study in one school.
And whoever rejects this proposal must just leave us alone. We are ready to defend Bella, and we are ready to ensure that our children are not oppressed again.
They are ready. They are ready to defend Bella. He says that they are ready to defend Bella. Guys, you remember, not so long ago, we were actually covering what was happening in the schools, where this Bella of theirs actually allowed the children of the immigrants to be enrolled in public schools without providing some sort of documentations. This is the kind of policy that the ANC is saying that they are ready to defend. They are ready to defend enrolling the children of illegal immigrants to enroll in schools without providing some sort of documentation. But if you are a South African parent, you cannot just take your child to the school, because if you take your child to the school, they are going to require you to bring some sort of documentation. But because the ANC, it is a political party that always puts the foreigners first, they are saying no, the foreigners must come, and they don't even have to have any documentation. They can just take our children to schools. And that actually resulted in South African children being deprived of actually getting the schools. How many parents actually went out to the media to say that our children cannot get school? Why can your children not get school? It is because this school has actually enrolled thousands of Zimbabweans, and now our children cannot get school. There is no space for our children because this school and that school and that school, they have decided to enroll Zimbabweans and Namibians and all of these people that come outside of this country. This is the ANC. It is telling you that if you come into this country illegally, it is fine. It is fine. Many of us can actually scream and say that no, being in this country illegally, it is a crime on its own. But to the ANC, no, it is not a crime on its own. It is not a crime on its own, because the ANC always puts the foreigners first. The ANC always puts the foreigners first. And despite the South African parents crying about this policy of the ANC, they are still clapping for the ANC. That's why I'm saying that when it comes to the ANC voters, these people, men, are beyond repair. They are beyond repair. And the sad part is because they are a majority in this country. They are a majority.
They must tell us what's wrong for our children to be in the same classroom with their children. They must tell us why they are happy when we are watching rugby together with them. But when we have to watch our children in the same classroom, they say it's wrong. If it's wrong, let them leave. We lead this government alone. We don't need their assistance. Comrade TG, we also want to send this message strong. The land belongs to us. Umhlaba wethu must come back so that our people in Alexander must not be cramped here when there is empty land there that is not utilized because it's expensive. We want to thank our president for signing that law. Let's implement that law.
They're speaking about the land belonging to the people. The ANC has millions and millions of acres of land. What stopped them from actually distributing that land to the people? What stopped them from distributing that land to the people? Because even this stupid policy that Ramaphosa has decided to sign, it says that the organs of the state must expropriate the land in the public's interest, meaning that the government is the one that is actually going to acquire the land, not the people. So this is just the way of the ANC to actually give land to their friends. It has nothing to do with improving people's lives. It has nothing to do with improving people's lives. And people were cheering, yeah, finally, we are going to get the land. But the one question that they are not asking is, where is the land that actually belongs to the government? And why is that land not distributed to the people? Because this idea of actually pretending like this is going to be the first time we are acquiring the land as the government, and this land we are actually going to give it to the people, it is the lie. The ANC has millions and millions of acres of land, and this land has not been distributed to the people. And the one question is why? Is why they are going to do the same thing that the government in Zimbabwe has actually done by actually sharing this land to their own friends, to their families, to their own cadres, to say that, no, you take this farm, I'm going to take this farm. Yeah, you take this farm. This is what the ZANU-PF is actually doing. This is what they are doing. This is why sometimes when South Africans actually mock the Zimbabweans, they will say that you guys fought, you chased white people out because you said you want your land back. But today, as we speak, not a single average Zimbabwean actually has land in Zimbabwe. The land belongs to ZANU-PF. It belongs to ZANU-PF, and they can actually do as they please with this land. They can actually cut the deals with this land. They can do as they please with this land. And all of these deals that they are going to make, they are only going to benefit them. They are not going to benefit the people. Anyhow, this is why you see the Zimbabweans are the orphans of Africa, despite this narrative that the Zimbabweans have the land. They don't have the land. The land belongs to ZANU-PF. This is the same thing that the ANC is doing. They are busy trying to acquire the land for themselves so that they can cut deals with this land to benefit themselves and to enrich themselves, while making people think that we are acquiring this land on your behalf. And people, again, are clapping hands. They're clapping hands. Man, you know, when the ANC decided to actually dumb down our education system, they knew exactly what they were doing. This is one thing that I would say, okay, ANC, this one, you got it 100%, despite it being an evil plan. But this one, you actually got it, because even in this country, we don't have political education. And one thing that is funny about politics is that you don't have to go through the university. You don't have to go through the so-called political education. You just have to apply your mind to the things that the likes of Panyaza and Lesufi are doing. You just have to apply your mind and read some articles and actually do a bit of research to actually try to understand what these people are doing. To try to understand what these people are doing. But in this country, man, we don't have such. We don't have such in this country. We have people that have decided to delegate their thinking to the politicians. Everything that the politicians speak, they clap hands for that. Oh my God, this is the best thing that has ever happened in this country. This is what the people are doing in this country. Most of the voters in this country, they have delegated their thinking to the politicians. That's why the politicians are actually treating them like idiots. That's why the politicians are treating them like idiots, and they don't see anything wrong with the politicians lying in front of their faces. They don't see anything wrong with the politicians lying in front of their faces, because the truth of the matter is that if we lived in a sane country, the people of this country wouldn't want anything to do with the ANC. They wouldn't want anything to do with the ANC. The ANC has done a lot of damage. They wouldn't want anything to do with the ANC, but because this is how we are, they have delegated their thinking to the ANC. And some of these people, when they say we don't want anything to do with the ANC anymore, you will be relieved as an individual to say, yeah, these people, they don't want anything to do with the ANC anymore. And the same people will say, like, no, now I'm going to join Umkhonto Wesizwe party, and you are back to square one. You are back to square one. This person is leaving the ANC. And just when you thought that this person is out of the plantation, he's going to join the MK party. Some people are saying, no, I don't want anything to do with the ANC anymore. Thank God, I'm going to join the EFF. Oh, God, please. What the hell are these people doing? What the hell are these people doing? South Africans have an obsession with these type of politics. I don't know why. In 30 years, when other countries are actually making the decisions that are moving their nations forward, you have South African voters that are jumping from the ANC to joining the MK party. Some are jumping from the MK party to joining the EFF. Others are jumping from the EFF to joining the MK party. And you can see that there is no way we can actually survive the mayhem that is coming for us as a country. There is absolutely no way. The fact that these political parties are most political parties amongst the black people, it shows you that we are beyond repair. There is no way that we are going to see the so-called promised land in the language of the Bible. We are not going to see the promised land, because the decisions that the people are making in this country are the ones that are actually holding us back. That's why I'm saying that right now, I'm no longer holding the ANC accountable. I'm holding the voters of the ANC accountable and saying that you guys have destroyed this country. I remember I did a video about the ANC voters actually destroying this country with their racism. And people were crying, no, Thomas, how can you say that the black people have destroyed this country? They don't even want to acknowledge that the choices that they've made are the ones that have actually landed us where we are today. No, they don't want to hear that. No, Thomas, how can you say that black people have destroyed this country with their choices? But you guys have. You guys have. You have.
And bring back our land so that our people can be taken there and stay nice in their own country. Any other person that opposes this, they must just leave us. Asbanengi. Yabona mina comrade TG.
You see me, comrade TG.
Kulombuso suphethe la eGauteng.
In the government that we have in Gauteng.
EDA yakhala asibafakanga, and we don't want them, and we are not ready to accommodate them, and we can demonstrate that we can run government without them. You
like, isn't it so funny when Panyaza Lesufi can actually stand there and say that we don't need the DA, we don't want anything to do with the DA, whereas the DA is the one that actually voted for him to be the Premier of Gauteng? If it wasn't for the votes of the DA, do you think that Panyaza Lesufi would be the Premier of Gauteng? Of course not. Of course not. He's not telling the people that are watching him that no, the same political party that I'm speaking about, it is the same political party that voted for me. Our lying and incompetent and I don't even know how to describe Ramaphosa, man. I don't even know how to describe Ramaphosa. Our lying and pathetic and incompetent president wouldn't be the president of this country if it wasn't for the votes of the DA. But today, when you listen to these people speak about the DA, you would swear that the DA did nothing for them. There is nothing that the DA did for them. But they forget that it is because of the votes of the DA that they are in the positions that they are. They have lost the elections, basically. They have lost the elections, and the DA said, oh, we are going to save you. Let us save you so that we can work together as the people of this country. And as soon as these people were elected in the positions of power, they said, man, to hell with the DA. To hell with the DA. That's why Ramaphosa was elected by the DA to be the president of this country. And after he was elected by the DA, he said, no, I am going to form the government of national unity, and I'm going to invite as many political parties as possible so that I can dilute the vote of this political party that has actually voted for me to be in power. I can dilute the power of the DA. I don't want the DA to have any power in the government of national unity. So I'm going to invite as many political parties as possible so that the DA does not have power. Despite the DA putting their necks on the road and to say that we are going to vote for Ramaphosa, despite this guy being a criminal. We know that he has stashed thousands and thousands or millions of dollars inside of his mattresses and the sofas. But the DA said, no, we are not going to focus on that. We are going to focus on actually moving this country forward. This thing of Palapala, okay, we know that it is criminal, but we are not going to pay that much attention to it because we believe that we and Ramaphosa can actually cut a deal and move this country forward. And as soon as they did that, Ramaphosa showed them why the DA was never supposed to vote for Ramaphosa to be the president of the country. The ANC turned around and stabbed the DA in the back. The same thing happened with Panyaza Lesufi in Gauteng. It happened with Panyaza Lesufi in Gauteng. Panyaza Lesufi, he lost the elections in Gauteng. He lost the elections in Gauteng, and Panyaza Lesufi and the DA, they actually had a deal. Panyaza Lesufi and the DA, they had a deal, and they said that, okay, let's see at the MMCs, let's see how we are going to govern Gauteng. Okay, Panyaza Lesufi, you are going to have 4 MMCs as the ANC. The DA is going to have 3 MMCs, and these other 3 MMCs, we are going to give to the political parties that are also in the government of national unity. You know, the spirit of the government of national unity from national. Now we are taking it provincial. But the ANC said, no, we are not going to share the MMCs with the DA. Despite the ANC losing the elections, today as we speak, the ANC has 7 MMCs in Gauteng, and they have lost the elections, meaning that these people are governing Gauteng by force. They are governing Gauteng by force because the DA said, no, there is no way that you guys are going to give us stupid portfolios as if you guys have actually won the elections or you are doing us a favor. You are not doing us a favor. You are not doing us a favor. We should actually share these portfolios in a way that actually represents the GNU and represents how the people of Gauteng have actually voted. But the ANC said no. The ANC said no. Panyaza Lesufi said no. I am going to take 7 MLCs. Despite me losing the elections, I am going to pretend like I have won the elections in Gauteng, and the ANC is going to govern Gauteng alone with a minority. This is how I'm going to do it, instead of just working with a political party that have just elected him to be the premier of Gauteng. This is how backstabbing the ANC is. This is how backstabbing the ANC is.
You can't have a member of government of national unity when there is no load shedding. That member of national unity, it does not say it's the ANC. That member of national unity, when there is load shedding, he blames the ANC. When there is no load shedding, he says it's government of national unity. What kind of a partner is this one? What kind of a partner is this one? we are reiterating our stand. We are in coalition with the DA Government of National Unity, but we are not friends of the DA, and we are not friends of Helen Zille, and we are not partners with AfriForum.
Panyaza Lesufi, the way he always talks about Helen Zille, I'm sure even when he's asleep, man, he's saying the name of Helen Zille, man. What kind of obsession does Panyaza Lesufi has with Helen Zille?
We are not partners with all racists. We are ready to defend our movement. Comrades, cowards die before their actual death. I'm the child of Harry Kwala. We are children of Chrisani. We are children of Joe Slovo. We are children of Winnie Mandela. We are children of Chrisani, and no one can stop us. When we are ready to defend the movement, we'll defend this movement. Any other person that is a coward must step aside and allow us to go forward. No retreat. No retreat. No retreat.
Just listen to the cheers, man. Just listen to the cheers behind. No retreat, no surrender. No retreat, no surrender. We are destroying your lives. Thank you, ANC. This is basically what these people are saying. Panyaza Lesufi says that we are destroying your life. They're saying, no, thank you, ANC, for destroying our lives. We love you still. Just continue to tell us that you are the children of Joe Slovo. Continue to tell us that we are the children of Chris Hani. Continue to tell us that we are the children of Winnie Mandela. As long as you continue telling us that, you can continue to destroy our lives, and we don't care. We don't care, because we are South Africans and we owe everything to the ANC. Just listen to those pathetic cheers that are coming from the people. These people are in Alexandra. They are stuffed in Alexandra like bunch of tin fins. They are stuffed there like sardines. They are stuffed in Alexandra like sardines, and they are stuffed by their own ANC. And the ANC goes exactly where they stuffed these people like sardines, to tell these people all of these things and to promise people all of these things. South Africans are hopeless, man. South Africans are hopeless. Completely hopeless. South Africans are hopeless, man. You know, to be a politician in this country, man, it is so easy, man. It is so easy. At some point, I was actually contemplating of being a politician. I was saying that, man, you know, some people say that, Thomas, you know, you are a good public speaker, man. You know, if we can come and share these people. I remember there was a political party there in Cape Town. I'm not going to say the name of that political party there in Cape Town, saying that, Thomas, man, you know, how about you come and so that we can, you know, we can share these people. It was a fairly new political party there in Cape Town. But I said, no, man, I don't want to participate in this thing of yours, guys, where you are blatantly lying to these people of this country. I think I will consider going into politics the moment South Africans have decided to listen to the truth and to acknowledge the truth and making the decisions that are actually going to benefit this country going forward. But as for now, South Africans enjoy the likes of Panyaza Lesufi. They enjoy Jacob Zuma going on stage and singing Umshino and continue lying to them and telling them that he is the victim. There is nothing wrong that Jacob Zuma has done, or everything that the people said have done. It is the mainstream media. If you question anything that Jacob Zuma says, you are a clever black. So even right now, the people in this country that actually should be out voicing their opinions and actually making noise about the kind of damage that Jacob Zuma has done to this country, they don't want to say anything. Even the people, the intellectuals in this country, they have been silenced, because if you are an intellectual in this country and you try to say something, no, you are a clever black. So Jacob Zuma has actually concocted this phrase that anyone who dares to question me, he is a clever black. People must just listen to me and acknowledge that I'm just a victim. Otherwise, you have Julius Malema. Julius Malema, man. Sometimes I feel sorry for Julius Malema. I don't want to lie. I feel sorry for Julius Malema, but I feel like Julius Malema's watch time is actually decreased. I feel like people in this country are no longer interested that much to listen to Julius Malema because he says the same thing over and over again, and it really doesn't matter at this point. It really doesn't matter at this point. That's why people have decided to vote for that guy in Nkandla instead of making sure that the EFF grows. Is because they look at Julius Malema is like, there's nothing inspiring about Julius Malema anymore. So in the same event, Panyaza Lesufi has decided to attack the people, and I think he has decided to attack the voters, to say that the people who have left the ANC to join the MK party and the EFF are cowards. Can you just imagine a whole premier of Gauteng saying that the people who have left the ANC and joining the MK party and the EFF are cowards? This is the kind of language that we are using right now in South African politics. This is the kind of language that we are using right now. Just listen to him.
To those that left the ANC to join Umkhonto weSizwe, or those left the ANC to join EFF, we want to send you a strong message. Niyamakwala, buyane ekhaya.
You are cowards. Come back home.
Sizolwa impi ekhaya.
So we can fight this fight at home.
So that we defend the African National Congress. There must be no one who insult our president and say this is the ANC of Ramaphosa. This is the ANC.
So Panyaza Lesufi just insulted the people who left the ANC to join other political parties. This is their democratic right. If you were in the ANC and have decided to join the MK party, we can sit here and mock you and say that you have made a terrible decision. But at the end of the day, it is your democratic right to actually move as you want. If you have decided to leave the ANC to join the EFF, still, it is your democratic right to leave this party and join the other political party. So Panyaza Lesufi thinks that he's okay to actually insult these people who are making their own decisions, and at the same time saying that no one has a right to insult our president. So what actually gives you the right to insult the people that have left the ANC to join other political parties, and at the same time not wanting the same people to insult your president?
Of the people, this is the ANC of Nelson Mandela, this is the ANC of Oliver Tambo, this is the ANC of all of us. Kunabanye abafundisi la angifuni ukubajampise.
The other pastors, I don't want to.
Ento leyo Umkhonto mayiqala bahamba baya lapha.
When this thing of Umkhonto weSizwe started, they left and went there.
Mababuya babuye nje bangazi ukuthi yini. But sabavulela inhliziyo savula izandla, and we have welcomed them.
When they came back waggling with their tails behind their thighs, and we still open their arms for them.
Fundisi bethu siyabonga for coming back to the African National.
So this is the Premier of Gauteng, guys. So you can listen to Panyaza Lesufi as long as you want, but don't mistake Panyaza Lesufi and actually think that Panyaza Lesufi can talk about the state of Gauteng. No, this is one thing that he will never talk about. What Panyaza Lesufi spoke about right now, these are the only things that Panyaza Lesufi only speaks about. And for some reason, the South African voters believe that this guy is the perfect guy to be the next president of this country. So if you think things were worse under Jacob Zuma, Ramaphosa came, and now we are crying because everything is worse under Cyril Ramaphosa, and people are saying that Panyaza Lesufi must come. Saying Panyaza Lesufi must come because for some reason they believe that Panyaza Lesufi is going to make good decisions the same way they believed that Ramaphosa was going to make brilliant decisions after that time we had with Jacob Zuma. These are South African voters for you. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part is subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye bye.